Hi, it's Shay from Lunar Rain Art, and welcome to my 8-week course on employee retention for the salon owner. Welcome to course number 1 for the 8-week course. This is a course where we are just going to simply get to know each other. I will tell you a little bit about myself, and you will have the opportunity to enlighten me as to who you are and what your goals are for your individual business. Hi, it's Shay, and I wanted to let you know why this course is relevant to my repertoire of education. I started in the salon industry as a 19-year-old kid in 1999. I am aging myself, and that's okay because look at these lack of crinkles. I am what they call an industry vet. I have started at the bottom of the bottom of the bottom. I wasn't even old enough to go out drinking with my team. Not that I would do that anyway. Um, Maybe, who knows. I aged into a senior stylist and started taking on more team leadership roles, but not a management role. And then ultimately, I did take on management roles, and I really found my niche in the instructing world of the salon industry. And I have had both experiences in guiding a team as an instructor and as a manager. I have a very well-rounded insight from being the employee to becoming the employee's boss to becoming the person who teaches them how to make a living at their job, essentially, in all ways: how to be good at your job, how to succeed at your job, how to market yourself. um, a lot of maturing your younger stylist and artist has happened in this brain. So I have a repertoire of information to share with you, and I hope that you will gain a lot from this class, and I'd like to hear a little bit more about you. I have set up a simple fill it out style get to know you. I'd like for you to email me if you have the time. I know that we are all busy CEOs of our own world and that we have a lot going on, but if you expect to get the growth and the knowledge that I have to give you, I would love to know what it is that you already know, for one thing, where you want to go, and where are you having struggles in your company currently, or are you starting a company? Where are you in the business? So I have a questionnaire for you, and I would really appreciate it and love it if you would take the time to fill that out, send that to me via email, and that way I can serve your needs as precisely as possible. So question number 1, who are you? Wow, what a loaded question. So I don't want to know just your name, although I do want to know your name. I want to know, what type of business are you running? There are a lot of niche salon industries out there. I have experience in most of them. Eyelash industry, I have experience in the women's industry as far as color and cutting goes. I have experience in the men's industry in both appointment style haircuts and in walk-in style haircuts. Um, so I want to know who you are in this industry. Where do you fit? What do you do on a daily basis? So that is a loaded question. Question number 2. I'd like for you to tell me about your current staff. Tell me how long your longest team member has been with you. What is the shortest amount of time your newest employee has been with you, I guess? Tell me the newest employee you have. Have they been there for 2 weeks, 2 months, whatever it is? And tell me the size of your staff. And then I would like to know if you have any internal conflict amongst your staff, if you feel comfortable sharing that with me. Question number 3. What are your staff goals? I'd like for you to describe this in your dream staff. What would a world be like where there were no restrictions, there were no issues, you were able to hire the perfect people, the perfect amount of people, you have enough money to hire all the people you would need to hire to do the perfect job every day? Tell me, in your mind, what does that look like to you? You may not be the best writer, and that's okay. I'm not looking for someone who's a very good writer. I just need to know what it is that you need from this course so I can make sure that you get it. I'd like for you to pause the course now and go to your email and fill out those 3 questions. At least get them started and put them in a draft so that you can finish them tomorrow or this week. It's important for you to get everything out of the course that you desire that I get this information back from you so that we can collaborate. Welcome back. Now I'd like to spend some time telling you what you can expect from this course. I will go over each of the modules one by one and let you know what we'll be going over and what you can expect gained from these courses. The next module that you receive after this course is going to be about hiring ads. What we will discuss in hiring ads is verbiage. There are multiple points on the verbiage for a hiring ad. You want to attract the correct individual. The correct individual is someone who still needs to learn a lot from you, but is not at a place in their career where they're going to take everything you taught them and open up their own place and become your competition. No one wants to train their competition. It's expensive. And if you can't give them all of your knowledge, then you're subpar training your staff. So I'm going to teach you how to create a ad that will give you the correct verbiage that will find people that are in this place in their career. And I'll tell you what it is that they are looking for in order for you to be able to sign them on, and also how important these players are on your team. In Module 3, we will talk about interviewing. We will also discuss the key players that you need on your team. You need a few players on your team, and not everyone can be the leader. Not everyone can be the follower. Who are these people? How do you find them in an interview? How do you know you have that person? And how do you not waste your time setting up a bunch of interviews with the flaky world of the salon industry and you actually get people to show up for your interviews? During the interview, how do you sell yourself to the employee? That is what you essentially need to reframe your brain to do. So, we will also talk about reframing your mind in an interview to sell yourself to the employee. And we'll talk about why. It's almost a marketing strategy, and it's a little bit brilliant underneath the surface of it all. Hi, Module 4 is going to be hiring strategies. As an industry vet, I have been privy to hiring teams, and I have hired on teams that were successfully floating along. I have hired on teams that were just getting started. And there are different strategies across the board, and they have their own pros and cons. We will discuss all of them, and we will come up with some new ones as well. Module number 5 is called training. And I have some very, very lengthy advice on the button of training. So, in training, you need to sort of worry about not training your competition for one thing, but you don't want to have an incompetent staff. So, how do you balance this? The other thing we will talk about are training agreements, contracts, no competes, all of the very unfun legal stuff, and maybe we'll throw some games in there to make it not so boring. And the point of this is not fun, but it is going to protect your business. There are multiple ways that you can put some policies into place that will protect you in the future, and probably ways that you have not really thought of that relate to all of this. So we will discuss contracts and not so fun stuff, but it will protect you in the long run. Module number 6, team bonding. That can be a tricky ship to sail. There are a lot of different personalities in the salon, and there are extroverts, there are introverts, they're both wildly successful. Sometimes, though, they are at war. And I can teach you how to make the extroverts and the introverts not only live with each other, but actually bond like a family and enjoy working together. I can help you create events and things like that. I can help with a strategy on how to make sure that for the rest of your business year that you have something scheduled that everyone will enjoy, and how you can potentially place the responsibility for that in a team member that's not necessarily your manager or your trainer, but who is the best at bringing your team together. You could give them extra leadership responsibilities and sort of soft train them for a bigger role down the line. So let's talk about employee retention and why it matters. The reason I've made this course is because the first time I had the experience to talk to someone who made it from open to the 1 year mark to the $1 million store. And I had to pick this woman's brain. How did she do this? What was her strategy? Did she do something different, or was it dumb blind luck? Which it's never dumb blind luck. It's a lot of hard work is what I've learned. So one of the things that I was told right off the bat from one of the most successful people in our industry was she kept her staff. At that 12-month mark, she had every employee that she hired from the day she opened her doors. The reason that I believe she was so successful was because it wasn't just her heart selling this business. She had 12 people with the same passion, with the same drive. They all want this thing to succeed because she was able to cultivate that in her employees. And not only cultivate that, she gave them such a comfortable home that they wouldn't leave her. And so she was able to boost them. And every time they made more money, she made more money. So it was a really, really interesting brain picking exercise, but I have 1,000 more of those. Every opportunity I've ever had to pick someone's brain in our industry, no matter what they were up to, if they were a CEO of a company or if they were just graduating college, I have always tried to find something I could learn from them. And I have found some very, very brilliant minds, and I would love to share their information across the board. The last thing that we will talk about is your leaders and the leadership qualities that are red flags and the leadership qualities that might be undersold. There are a lot of great leaders that aren't in your face about it. They are silent and they are the ones actually pulling the reins anyway. So I would like to highlight the qualities that a good leader has. And sometimes you might see that 19-year-old kid that hasn't found their stride yet. But if you intend to keep them and make them with a career, you might see those qualities and you can grow the best manager you have ever had from scratch. So we will talk about those qualities. How do you spot them? How do you grow them once you spot them? How do you make them confident enough to sail the ship alone? That is tricky because some of these girls are very young. They're used to